And I got a special guest with me today. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. I go by Itzmoe on YouTube, and I have a 90s channel called 90s Kids Forever, and I also have my main channel, which is called just Itzmoe, Itzmoe. Yeah.
So, what we really came here to talk about, what I really wanted to talk about, is this show called Boy Meets World. It's my favorite show, maybe of all time, but as for the moment, it's my favorite show.
Oh.
So, can you tell me how, if you remember, how you came to, you know, how did you find the show?
Well, I watched it just when as it was airing on TGIF, so I
Okay.
followed it like as the episodes were airing on ABC. I wasn't a cool kid, so I didn't go out Friday, Saturday nights. I watched TV. So Friday, that was my thing is TGIF. So I'd watch like I mean, the lineup would change throughout the years, but like the one that I really remember was like in the later seasons of Boy Meets World, where it was like Boy Meets World, and like they had this other one like Teen Angel,
Oh,
this other
what?
show with Eric Von Detten called like I forgot what it was called, but Eric Von Detten from like Brink was one of the stars on it. But the main show was Boy Meets World, and I yeah, I just like that's how I ended up watching it like as it was airing. I remember like when they announced that Corey and Topanga were gonna get married, they actually set up a website. Like they made a whole video like inviting everyone, like a little commercial inviting everyone to the wedding, and then they had a website set up so you could like go RSVP. And I actually went to the I actually went to the website and everything. So
Oh, okay.
um yeah, and that's just how I ended up watching it. And then I was really sad when it ended. I was crying. I was so sad, but I'm really glad that it's been shown in reruns, and I actually bought the box set, so I've been able to keep watching it. So yeah,
I
can't.
think the reruns made the show more popular, especially when they went over to Disney.
Yeah, yeah. I remember watching the reruns on Disney, and that's how my younger siblings started watching it, and they thought it was funny. So yeah, I think the reruns definitely helped.
I'll be honest. I started late because like I used to see the show, but I used to just turn it every time. And
Oh,
one of those moments I saw. Let me see. It was the episode. It was like season one or two, and Corey spilled something on the floor. Spilled a smoothie or something. He
mm-hmm.
had a smoothie running with the top open, and the mother came in. She looked. She went back out the door, and I thought that moment was just so, I guess, genuinely funny to where I just kept
Oh,
watching and kept watching,
oh,
and then I got,
okay.
and then the box set and everything. I bought that. I bought all that too.
Oh, okay,
But
cool.
as for season wise, do you have a favorite season, or you just like all of them the same?
Um, I don't have one, but the last three are my favorite. Five,
Okay.
6, 7, because they have like I noticed most of my favorite episodes are in those seasons. Like then there was Sean, which is like the
Oh
quote unquote
yes.
Halloween episode. That's
Yeah.
season 5, and then I just love like there's so many good moments with Eric, like in the college years when he goes a little crazy. Like when he goes after Angela, like that one where he's like stalking her. That's like one of my favorite. I think it's called Angela's Men. That's one of my favorite episodes too. When he like tries to sneak attack her. And then when Eric and Topanga go on like a diet or something, I really like that one. And then, it has the wedding with Corey and Topanga, and then, and then Jack. I like, the dynamic with like Jack and Eric. He kind of gets like a friend. And then, we see more of like Jack and, as Sean's brother, and then more of Angela and Sean. So I kind of like when it was like a bigger group and we got to see more of Eric, because in the earlier seasons we didn't see that much of him, and he's probably my favorite character other than Mr. Feeny. Like him and Eric are
Okay.
my two favorite ones. So I like that we got to see more of him, but I did notice like a change in his character, because I remember
Uh-huh.
watching the
Yeah.
later seasons, and I'm like, wait, this is really funny, but he was not like this in the beginning. He was more like the smooth talker, like more charming brother. He wasn't really like crazy, like just like kind of dumb. He got like I feel like he got dumber as the years progressed. Like he was,
Well,
but like at
he had
least
a
he became
dramatic change.
And he became like a nicer person. That is like a good thing because like when he was younger, he was more into himself, and in the later seasons, you could see he was more like a little bit like a nicer person, more concerned about his friends, about the monkey. Like the one
I
episode he
think
cared about the monkey. So.
the episode where he goes to college or he's going away, and Corey says that they've never really spent time together. I think that episode probably was the one of the first episodes to open his eyes to care about other people.
Mm.
But for somewhere in there, he changed, got lost brain cells or something.
Yeah, but I feel like even though he lost a little bit of brain cells, he still kept like that good heart. Oh, and then Tommy, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Him and Tommy. Oh, I love that so much. Like there's a video of me watching like the reaction when like Tommy comes back on Girl Meets World and I'm like
Oh
crying.
yes, that was yeah.
Like, oh my god, that was so beautiful. I wish Tommy like Eric could have adopted Tommy, and that's like also one of my favorite episodes. So yeah, Eric has a lot of good moments. So.
Yeah, Eric has a lot. I know one of his best moments to me is the episode when he did a good looking guy. That was
Mhm.
a good gag. Like actually, the first couple seasons, Eric he wasn't there. He just had like gags in the episode. Like it was
Mhm.
like, here's your commercial break to go to Eric or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
And
why
then
I
you
that's
keep going.
sorry. That's no, that's I think that's why like those aren't my favorites because I don't see like that much of him or you don't really get to know him as well as you do in like the later seasons. So, yeah.
At least he's a fleshed out character because
Mhm.
a lot of shows they don't have they have like the main two or three characters, then the rest of the characters are just there.
Mhm.
While Boy Meets World, you got a fleshed out family, fleshed out friends, fleshed out neighbor, and then
Yeah.
even the teachers like Mr. Turner and even Mr. Williams in a sense is
Mhm.
all
It's
fleshed
Feeny.
out.
Yep.
So yeah. Even Kat for a little bit, even though she was in like maybe 3 or 4 episodes.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
yeah. So other than Eric and Mr. Feeny, we'll get to Mr. Feeny later. But who did you more gravitate to?
I think Sean, like,
Sean?
well, both Sean and Topanga. Okay, so
Okay.
Topanga more because I was like the straight A student and like I always had to get good grades, so I kind of like related to her, and I was also the commencement speaker when I graduated college, so I kind of have that
Okay. We'll talk about that one
experience.
later.
And then Sean because I didn't really have like the best family. Like it was like not as like Corey had like my dream family, like the family I wanted, but Sean was like the one I could relate to, and also like how everything like wouldn't work out for him, and that's kind of how it was for me. Is like I'm used to like things not working out, and like if something works out, it's like what? Like I'm used to things like not working out, so I could relate to Sean in that way. So Sean and
Okay.
Topanga.
Okay. Okay. Um. So you said you were watching this live. Were you watching the whole series live or just like those later seasons?
I started like when I started like really following it was probably like probably third or fourth season, but
Okay.
then
Okay.
like but then later on like when they weren't showing like the new episodes they would show reruns obviously, so then that's when I would catch up with like the earlier seasons, and then by the time like the later seasons came on I was already like caught up with everything, and I would get the jokes about how like they had two Morgans and things like that. So
Yeah.
um
For some people watching live, they're probably like, wait a minute, that's a different person.
yeah.
But I mean, at least it was, if it had to happen at all, at least it was like Morgan and not like the third friend, like how they tried to do at the beginning, have a different friend.
Yeah.
So they kind of dodged, even though Topanga did have different dads at the end. That season 6, I think, was about to get married, and when they had the who was
And
that
then
they
two
had?
moms. She had two moms too.
Yes, I didn't
Or,
get that because it was like literally like the next episode she had a whole different mom and dad. I don't
and then
know
she
what kind of
and then she had a sister in the earlier seasons, Nebula, and
Nebula.
then she didn't have one when she got married. Like,
And then
oh, I would think your sister would be at the wedding, but
yeah,
like,
Sean had a lot of family members too though. He had
oh yeah.
a sister, a brother a brother, and then Jack.
Hmm.
So. Yeah, but I mean, did I just can't explain how I love this show so much. Like it is one of the best to me, one of the best coming of age anything really.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I know you want to talk about Mr. Feeny. I really because I watch your videos, I follow you, so I know that you really have a love for Mr. Feeny, Mr. Will Daniels, and I want you to talk about what led you to give your speech about Dream Try Do Good.
Oh, well, in my college, they basically sent a letter to like the top students, saying like, hey, if you're interested in giving this speech, send us, like, you're one of the top students. We're gonna pick someone to give the speech. Just write a speech and send it to us, and then we're gonna pick the one that we like the most. And so I was like, oh, I would really love to give the speech, but I've had my own graduations before, like high school and middle school, and I've been to other people's graduations, and I always thought the speeches were kind of boring.
Yeah,
Like
some of
they're
some of them are.
like they're inspiring, but at the same time they're kind of boring. I'm like, oh, how can I make it not boring but inspiring? And so since I love Mr. Feeney and I felt like I learned so much from him, I was like, maybe I could incorporate him in the speech, because that way it won't be as boring, because a lot of people, like the students, would like know who he was, and it'll be like, oh wow, she's talking about somebody, we know, a character from a TV show, and maybe like it'll be more engaging. This, they'll like the speech more. And so I just did it. I wrote the speech, featuring Dream Try Do Good, and some of my friends were like, oh, that's so, you shouldn't do it, like you need to take it more seriously, because I wanted to like make the speech kind of a little humorous so it's not boring. And so I tried to add a little like humor in there, and but I didn't listen to my friends. I was like, whatever, this is my speech. This is what I feel, and I'm gonna write, from my heart. That's probably what Mr. Feeny would say. So I wrote the speech and I sent it to them, and they actually liked it. So, and they told me, they're like, we like that you featured Mr. Feeny in there, because it's something that's, it adds a little bit of lightness to the speech. It's something that some of the other kids, well, not kids, but the other college students are gonna like know and can relate to. So, they actually liked the fact that I had Mr. Feeny in there, and so they picked it. So I was really happy that they understood what I was going for.
I'd like to share with you a few words of wisdom from one of the most inspirational teachers that I've ever known. Some of you may have heard of him. His name is Mr. Feeny. For those who don't recognize the name, he was on the 90s sitcom Boy Meets World. Out of the many lessons he taught us, a great piece of advice that I try to live by every day is dream, try, do good. First,
Is that your favorite Mr. Feeny quote?
I don't know, but I just thought it was good because it's short, and
Okay.
it was like it gave me like three things that I could kind of like go into, like, okay, dream, and then talk a little bit about that, try, and do good, because I felt like if I did just one quote, it would just be like one idea, and then that would be too short. But that one, I liked it because it was like a short quote, and then I could kind of expand on it like three different ways. So I thought that was like, it just kind of encapsulated a lot of the things he taught. But it was so hard. Like there's so many good quotes. Like they should have like a Mr. Feeny quote book, or a quote, like a calendar every
Something like that.
day. Yeah, like you could have, there's so many. Like, I mean, I have them on my shirts. I don't know if you see my shirts, but like
Yeah.
some of them, um but yeah.
I think I like the one that says, if you let people's perception of you dictate your behavior, you'll never grow as a person.
Yeah,
That
that's a good one. Oh,
that
yeah.
one, I don't know, that speaks to a lot of people. So, because in school, a lot of people do get talked about, even out of school, just everywhere. So I think that one is like very, very, very important.
Mhm.
One of them I also like is it's a quote, but he was just angry. The one the Brainiacs episode, and they thought they were too smart for his class, and he brought them down to life and said the people centuries ago wished that they had the technology that you had, and you use your technology to play Donkey Kong, and
Oh.
it would have yeah.
Of a generation whose verbal and mathematical skills have sunk so low when you have the highest level of technology at your fingertips? Gutenberg's generation thirsted for a new book every 6 months. Your generation gets a new web page every 6 seconds. And how do you use this technology? To beat King Koopa. Shame on you. You deserve what you get. Sit down. Stay where you are. For the first time, I choose to walk out on you.
So I really enjoyed that one as well.
Mhm.
So with this Boy Meets World, and you do have your channel. You did reviews on Girl Meets World.
Yes.
How did you think that they transferred the show Boy Meets World to Girl Meets World?
I think you know, that's pretty good. Like I like that they still, had Corey and Topanga in there, and um but it was focused more on the kids, but I still like that they had like that connection to like the original show with, Corey and Topanga, because sometimes they'll like try to continue a show, but like none of the original casts in it, and I'm just like, I don't really care about this new cast. So I like that, they had Corey and Topanga, and then eventually they brought pretty much everyone back except like Rachel. I think Rachel is probably like the only one that didn't come back. But
If we
and then
maybe Mr. Williams, if we count everybody, every main person.
yeah, and I like that, they brought back Mr. Feeny a few times. I was actually at the taping, because I went to some of the tapings, and I was actually at the first one that Will Friedle did as he plays
Oh,
with
okay.
squirrels. Oh my gosh, it was so awesome to just be there and like get to see like Will Friedle in person. I got to talk to him a little bit, and I didn't get a picture because there's like so many people, so I was like, oh, I don't know. So I ended up getting like an autograph from him instead of a picture,
Okay.
but I wish I would have gotten the picture instead of the autograph. I'm like, why? Because I thought like the show was gonna. I was like, oh, I'll just come back another time, but I could never go back on another time that he was there. So I kind of regret not getting the picture. um,
Uh, I'm sure you'll have a chance. I'm sure you'll pass
yeah,
by him somewhere.
hopefully.
Uh, Me personally, the show was okay.
Mhm.
I guess me being older, I guess I didn't relate to the kids as well as other people did. Like, to be honest, I thought like how Riley acts sometimes. I thought no kid acts like that or
Uh.
exactly like that. So I had problems with that aspect, but
Mhm.
I guess it's understandable. Uh, you know, uh, how can I put this? The Boy Meets the episodes centered on the Boy Meets World cast, like the older, like when they went to go get Feeny, when they went to go get their high school lockbox and stuff like that.
Mhm.
When it's on the older cast, I think they do great with the episode. Some of the episode with the younger cast, I just is not my favorites. I'll just say it like that.
Mhm.
But I think overall they did an okay job in transferring it over. But what person would you like to have a sequel other than Eric? I mean a spinoff other than Eric.
Um, like a Boy Meets World character that should have his own show, basically.
Yes,
Probably Sean.
Sean. Okay.
Yeah, because I wanted to know more about him, because he would like come in once in a while. I know he's like a photographer and stuff like that, but it's like take us on his travels. Who is he meeting? And I mean, no, now he got married and stuff, and I was happy for him. Like, well, finally something worked out for him. But yeah, I always wanted more Sean when he was in the episode. So
I feel
yeah.
like that's the essence of his character, is the mystery.
Yeah, I mean Eric too would be awesome, but yeah, I can't say Eric. But I mean, it'd be so cool if there was like an Eric and Feeny show, because they're like
Oh yes, a buddy. Yeah.
that's the other thing I
Yes.
liked about Boy Meets World. There was like they had like two bromances there, or three actually. They had Eric and Jack as a bromance, and then Eric and Feeny
Uh,
as a bromance, and then Corey and Sean, like three
Corey and Sean. Yes.
bromances,
Yeah.
and Eric was in two of them. So
I like the dynamic between Corey and Sean. It's like a real friend. I'm there for you anytime. Even when Sean was away and something was wrong with Corey's brother, Sean came back from wherever he was to go see the brother.
Mhm. Yeah, I love them. And I think like I don't know, I mean I feel like, Boy Meets World was better than Girl Meets World, but I think one of the reasons that I think Boy Meets World was better is that the fact that Girl Meets World was on Disney.
Oh,
And they can't do like they probably wouldn't be able to do the drinking episode that they did on ABC because Boy Meets World was on ABC. And I know they're both owned by Disney, but like with ABC they could do a little bit more like mature things,
yeah.
but they can't do that on like in the prom episode in Boy Meets World where they get the hotel room.
Yeah, I heard
They would they
banned
could
the
not
episode.
do that. They could not do that on Disney, Riley could not get a hotel room.
Oh, I did. Cause I watched this list of banned episodes and I saw Boy Meets World on the thing. I was like, what has Boy Meets World done? But that episode, I mean, I could understand it, but they end up didn't even doing anything. But I can understand where they was coming from. That episode is also a great episode as well.
Yeah, and I
But
remember like Topanga, she was even wearing like lingerie and stuff. Like like that could never be on Disney. So I think that also affected the show a lot too. The fact that it was on Disney.
so when you hear about Boy Meets World, or when you're telling somebody about Boy Meets World, when you're introducing somebody to Boy Meets World, what is the episode that you would start with, or would you just start from the beginning?
Probably I don't probably want no, I don't start from the beginning. I like showing them like the and then there was Sean episode because I think that was
Okay.
just like so funny and it's just like it's so perfect. So perfect. And I know it's not like really real because it's like kind of like a dream or something,
Yeah.
but like everyone I know that has seen that episode is just like thinks it's hilarious. And then but I like I like people that have seen already some episodes of Boy Meets World, but they haven't seen all of them. I tell them to watch the last episode
Oh,
because
are you
like
gonna cry?
because it's so good. Because they're like, oh, I'm probably not gonna watch the whole thing. I don't have time. I'll be like, well, just watch the last episode. It's really good. That's all I tell them.
Okay.
Uh, but and my little sister, like my youngest one, she was watching Boy Meets World with the reruns and everything. And then we got together and we were kind of like catching up on the whole series and we finally on my with my DVDs and then we got to the last episode and I didn't warn her. So like
Oh,
at the end of the episode she was like all covering her face and then I was like, "What's wrong?" She's like, "Don't look at me." And then she went to the bathroom cuz she didn't like people seeing her cry. So I was like, "Oh my god, I didn't think cuz I cry more easily than she does." So I didn't really know if it would make her cry or not. So the fact that made her cry, I was like, "Okay, it's pretty good." But
I, I think that's when the show does its job. Is when they get you emotionally invested, especially with the characters.
and I feel
That's
like it's something that you don't need to really watch the whole series to get that last episode. Like if you know who Corey, Shaw, and Topanga are, and that Mr. Feeny was a teacher, like I feel like you can watch the episode and it'll probably still make you cry. Because I've even seen in the comments in like the scene from like that last scene with Mr. Feeny, like people are like, I didn't even watch the whole show and watching this made me cry, because like it's just so good. Um, so yeah, and I just think it's like one of the best like finales I think I've ever seen for like a show. Like,
I would agree with that. Even though somehow they did have a teacher from almost kindergarten to college
you know,
till whenever.
I didn't care. I was like, who cares? And then I just thought it was funny how they made it was so true because like at one point like Corey was like when he's like telling well, I think Eric tells Feeny, tell us you love us. And then he's like, oh, I won't. And then Corey's like, come on, you haven't talked to another student for the past 6 years. You haven't talked, like you only talk to us. I'm like, that's so true. But I don't even care. I love the show, so I don't even care.
If there was another, if there was ever any like character or anything that you would really like to meet, because I know you probably want to meet the main four. You already met Will Daniels, haven't you?
Yes, I met him.
Okay, so other than that, like, who would you like really, really want to just have a full like dinner conversation with? Just a regular conversation, not even about Boy Meets World, just a regular chat.
Well, like a character or one of the actors, because that's different.
I mean, excuse me. Might as well do both. One a character and one of the actors.
Shoot. Yeah, I've of all the main ones, I've met pretty much everyone except what's his name? Ryder Strong. I haven't met him.
Oh,
I've seen him in person, but I haven't met him or talked to him. But I've met and talked to everyone else. But um, oh, I probably have to talk to Will Friedle, actor,
okay.
because I got to talk to William Daniels a little bit more. Will Friedle not as much, and there's some things that I can relate to him on, so so I would like to talk to him, and a character probably Sean, just because like I feel like he's like so misunderstood and everything, and I feel like I could relate to him a lot, so it'd be nice for like us, troubled young folk that
Okay.
like have always bad luck can like be friends and we can relate and be like nothing ever works out for us. So yeah, Sean.
Honestly, I'd be interested in talking to Alan. Honestly,
Oh really?
yes, yeah, Alan as a character and then as an actual person. I think it'd be cool just to talk with Ben Savage,
Uh-huh.
especially with him being a child actor. I think
Yeah.
that would be an interesting conversation, full of laughs, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's really nice. I've met him like a few times at the tapings and he like would remember me, which
And he
is so
even got your shirt.
crazy. Yeah, but I mean he didn't know I made it. I
Oh,
wanted to I wanted to tell him, but I was too embarrassed. I want to be
oh
like,
man.
yeah, that was my shirt, but I was just like, and now I regret it. Now I kind of wish I would have said something, but at that time, if I see him again, I will tell him for sure. But it was nice that like when he would see me, he'd be like, "Oh, hi, nice to see you again." I'm like, "Ah, he remembers me. What? Thank you." And he was so nice. Like when we would take pictures, he would always like make sure that you were happy with the picture. He's like, "Oh, is it good? Like we can take another one." I'm like, "Oh." So yeah, he's really nice. So I'm surprised he's like, because like pretty much everyone is married already, and I'm like, how is he not married? He's so sweet. Come on, somebody.
Maybe maybe it's just something he's not looking for at that time. Maybe you never know. Some people probably
Oh,
don't look for it as much as other people,
mm-hmm.
but he is a nice guy. I'm
Yes.
sure I'm pretty sure people are waiting in line.
Yes. So yeah, if
Oh,
you ever get the chance, you should, yeah, hopefully you can get to meet him and talk to him, and pretty
really,
much
really.
everyone on that cast is really nice. I don't think I had a bad experience with anyone. I talked to Rowan too, and Sabrina Carpenter, and the guy that plays Lucas, I forgot his name, Peyton.
Peyton Meyer, I think.
Yeah, they're all really nice. So I think that's kind of like something I like about that show is like something about like the adults and like Michael Jacobs and everything. Like
Did you
they
meet Michael Jacobs, or he?
no, I would
Okay.
like to meet him. I would like to meet him for sure. But like it's like they create this like nice environment, I think, and like there's no like egos. Everyone's like really down to earth. So I'm happy because like I grew up watching the Boy Meets World cast as they when they were kids, and like
Mhm.
it's nice that like they grew up and they're still like really humble and everything. So because I mean apparently like Michael Jacobs, or maybe I think it was maybe one of the cast members, they said that like they still had to do chores for their when they got home, and like the parents like all treated them you know like normal kids. So I think that really helped too.
Yeah, because some kids they go crazy and they get you know they go everywhere, do everything.
Mhm.
This is off the record, but I was reading a story about this child actor the other day, and I didn't know who he was. I was surprised to hear all the stuff he did. He did like crack and cocaine and all that by the age of like 16. So yeah,
Oh, wow.
I forgot his name. His name was Corey something. Corey
Feldman, Corey Haim.
Corey Haim.
Yeah,
He was friends with Corey Feldman, but yeah.
yeah, and the Corey Haim passed away.
Yeah, it was him then. It was because they were together all the time. The two Corys is what they call.
Mhm.
Well, yes, I could not believe. Like maybe that's how it was back then. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's sad. But we're almost done here. I
Mhm.
got a couple more questions because I just uh I just want to know how this show impacts other people.
Mhm.
So when you say you watched it live, when you're watching it live, did you like was anybody like I won't say at school or anything, but like anybody that you could talk to about this with, or anybody that watched the show with you? Because the actors say when they were on, it seemed like nobody was really watching, and it seemed like it took off after the show.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
like, was there anybody that you could talk to with this about?
Well, they were like people in my school that we all watched it. But I don't think anyone loved it like I did that I knew.
Oh,
Like, they knew about the show, they knew the characters, like if I talked about it, they would know what I was talking about. But like I don't really remember I had like a friend that I could be like, "Oh my god, blah 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 blah." So yeah, I think that was like why one of the reasons I just started making videos and talking about it because I'm like, hopefully there'll be other people out there who love the show like I did. Because I mean, I would watch it at home by myself. Um, but yeah, like, and yeah, I think we did have internet back then, but I wasn't on any like message boards or anything. Like,
okay.
I just kind of like kept it to myself, and maybe like once in a while like somebody would bring it up in class and, oh, we're talking about this funny part, but like I don't really remember like having like a friend or something. But like it was a show that we all knew, like we
Okay.
all knew, like in my school, like we knew about that show, like people did watch it, but I don't know if anyone was like as big of a fan as I was in my time.
So switching gears now, we're gonna talk about your YouTube channel, 90s Kids Forever, and
Yeah.
you do a lot of stuff on there. I seen
Hmm.
you did Aladdin reaction, you did a Lion King reaction. So I want to ask you, which one are you most excited for?
Oh, oh my gosh. Both. I don't know. Oh gosh, maybe I might have to say Aladdin. I don't
Okay.
know. But
Okay.
I still really want to see Lion King, so that's really hard. Like Lion King looks so amazing. I think one of the reasons that it kind of my excitement died down a little bit for Lion King is just because Jeremy Irons is gonna be in it. And I really love Jeremy Irons
Okay.
as
That's
Scar.
understandable.
Yeah, but I'm still gonna see both of them, and I'm still excited, and I'm probably still gonna cry um several times watching Lion King. But
Especially
yeah,
that.
yes. It looks so beautiful. But I'm really excited to see Aladdin too. I mean I already do know that like I'm probably not gonna like them as much as the animated ones just because those are so good. And but I'm curious, so I have to see the live action one since I mean they already made them, so might as well go watch them. So
I don't think they can do any bad. Like I know it's gonna be okay, but I don't think it's gonna be like just plain old bad.
no, I
Uh,
don't think it's gonna be bad. I definitely don't think so. But I know like with Beauty and the Beast, like I
okay.
thought it was okay, but I still like the animated one better.
Okay.
So oh
Uh,
shoot,
I mean, do you think that they're going overboard with remakes and reboots?
sorry. Sometimes, but I don't know. Like when I feel like it's not necessary, like the Disney live action remakes, I feel like are not necessary. Like nobody was asking for that. So, but
Okay.
like the Nick ones, I feel like those reboots, I'm okay with most of them because those are things that people do want to come back. Like people want all that to come back. They want Double Dare, and those are coming back. And um, which other ones? They've been talking about maybe Nick Arcade, which would be awesome.
Mhm.
And I know Phil Moore, the host,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
we've talked about it. So hopefully it actually happens. Because like those shows people have wanted, but the ones that like people don't like, I don't know, like I'm trying to think, like there's some that I'm like, who was asking for that? Nobody. So why
Well,
are they
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you the shows that they're bringing back.
hmm
Okay. Well, some of the shows that they're bringing back. They're bringing back. Oh, I just forgot it. Just that. Oh my god. Oh, they're bringing back Blue's Clues. Now,
Oh.
I don't know who was asking for Blue's Clues. I thought the show personally died after one of the
Steve.
dudes left. Steve left. Yes.
Yeah, and then they brought
Uh,
Joe, his brother. Or
yeah.
something.
Uh,
Yeah.
they also on another note want to do a lot of spin-offs for SpongeBob and all this other stuff,
We don't need
which is
SpongeBob spin-offs.
yeah, it's I mean it's okay I guess if you want to
Like
get more
I
content.
like the characters in that world. Like there was SpongeBob. I kind of like I've never thought like man Patrick should have his own show, or like Mr. Krabs should have his own show, or Squidward. Oh gosh. Okay, we'll see.
I think the um not the director, the the Nick person who runs Nick, he says that he thinks he likes the show, but he thinks sometimes it's a little too much SpongeBob. That's why. But
Well, it is
it's
called
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob
Yeah,
SquarePants.
yeah.
So, oh my gosh, dude, really?
Is there another Nick show that you would like to come back?
Salute your
Or
shorts. I love that
oh,
one.
okay, okay,
Yes, because I was thinking like they could bring back the original cast, but they'll be counselors. That way you can have the original cast. Because I don't want Salute Your Shorts to come back with like all new, like without the original cast. Like if it's gonna come back, I want the original cast in there. Well, if you can't get everyone, at least 3 or 4 of them, and they would just be back as like as counselors. And I think
okay.
it'd be cool, to see them like interacting with the kids, especially with like all the new technology there, like I think it'd be hilarious to see like Budnig kind of be more responsible now, like having to be a counselor. And yeah, I think that would be like a perfect premise to like be able to like bring the original, because I love that show. That show made me want to go to camp,
Oh,
like summer camp, and I still want to go. Like there's an adult camp now because somebody actually made that happen, because I'm like I always wanted to go to camp and I never got to go to camp, and there's actually a camp for adults now, and I want to go, but it's kind of pricey, but I want to go just to like have the experience of being out like in camp, the forest, and everything. But yeah, Salute Your Shorts is one of my top ones. I mean, they're bringing back all that. That's another one I would say, but they're already bringing that one back. And Guts, I would like Guts to
okay,
come back
all
because
right,
I love that show. I like that it's very physical, and I feel like kids these days need more physical activity. So
okay.
be nice to see that, and hopefully because like that one kind of made you like want to go outside and do stuff, learn to like ride a kayak or whatever those
Yeah,
things were. And then I think Wild and Crazy Kids would be also another fun one because it's like play outside and get to do more physical stuff, so that would be fun too. um so probably like those. I wouldn't want them, like, even though I love Ren and Stimpy, I don't want them to bring that one back because
I
I
don't think they can.
just leave it. Just leave it. It's already good the way it was. Like those episodes, I feel like if they brought it back, it would be horrible. So
I
don't
don't think
even
they
bring
can
it back.
bring that back. That's that show. I don't even think that show's for kids, honestly. Like that.
Good.
Yes, that
That's what
is.
makes it good. Like
Oh my god.
that's why it would be horrible if they brought it back. It'd be so bad. And because they kind of try to bring it back with on Spike TV, with like because I actually have all the DVDs of the original like 5 seasons, and then they tried to do one season on Spike TV called like something Bikini Party Hour or something like that, and it was so bad. Like it was, I think, only it was one season, not that many episodes, but it was just like, what are they doing? Like it was horrible. So that's why I'm like, leave Ren and Stimpy alone. It's fine. But the animated ones, I mean, they're already bringing back Rocco. I
I know
think.
they did do a movie on the Legends of the Hidden Temple. Did you watch that?
Wait, I didn't watch it. No.
Oh, see,
Sick.
I don't have no idea. See, I didn't watch the Legends of the Hidden Temple, so I don't have no idea how it did to the source material.
Mhm. Yeah.
But I mean, I'm a more of a I like the '90s Nick. I do like also the 2000s Nick as well. The 2000s to the mid 2000s, like the Drake and Josh and the Zoe 101s and shows like that. The Amanda show as well.
Mhm.
It's a different time period now, but you know I like a lot of stuff. And then Disney as well, but you know they probably bought all those shows back, haven't they?
Probably.
Almost.
Yeah, but I don't feel like every show needs to come back because like I said, like I just feel like if they did bring some of them back, they would be really bad. And sometimes it's like just leave things alone. They're already good. Like the Disney animated films, like I would be fine if they never made the live action ones, but they already made them, so might as well go watch them. But like that would have been fine if they just left them alone. And sometimes when they would make sequels for Disney movies, I'm like, why? Nobody was asking
Yeah,
for a
and
sequel.
then they go direct to DVD as well.
No, yeah. So it's just like sometimes they go a little overboard and they don't understand. Like, just leave it be because you're kind of tainting it. I feel like by like going overboard and like I feel like it's better to leave people wanting more than like do it and then leave like a bad taste in people's mouths. Like, oh, why'd they bring this back?
I
Um,
know a good example is Full House though, Fuller House, because they did a great job. I think they
I
did a
love
great
Fuller
job
House.
as far as a I guess a reboot or remake.
Yeah, I love Fuller House.
And so I guess they want to they see the success of Fuller House and they want to try to duplicate it themselves.
But okay, this is the thing. This is what like I don't know if some people like the reason I think Fuller House is good and people like it. Like I love Fuller House because they actually have the whole cast, the original cast. Yes, they have
Yeah,
some new ones, but they have the original cast. But the reason like other reboots or whatever try to like fails because they have like a whole new cast that nobody cares about. And then we're just like, we're not gonna fall in love with them. I'm sorry, they're not as charming as the original ones. Like that's why Girl Meets World was like, oh, okay. You know, they
okay.
had some of the original cast back as like regulars, but yeah, they still had the kids. It was more centered on the kids, but if they brought back Boy Meets World where like none of the cast was there, like it wouldn't be as good. So that's the key. You have to have the original cast that people loved. That's why Fuller House is awesome because and then it's the original like the creators still, and I think a lot of the same writers. So that the team behind it, that's I think the key. But when you try to make it like everything brand new, it's like no one cares. Like, we want those. That's why I want like salute your shorts. I don't want it brought back with like all new cast. I want the originals there as counselors, and yeah, you can have obviously they can't be campers anymore, but um, like people like if you try to do salute your shorts with like none of the original cast, no one's gonna watch it because we like the people on there. So that's the key. Have the
Okay.
original cast.
I have a question for you dealing with TV. What TV show or movie do you like and you get flack about it? It's an unpopular opinion.
Huh. Which one? Well, I mean, I think a little bit Fuller House because some people that when I tell my like Fuller House, they like say it was bad that they didn't like it. But I don't know which other one that I like and then I watch other shows that nobody has watched, so they can't give me flack about it because they haven't seen them.
I understand.
Um, so and then I just have other ones that people are surprised that I watch, like Ren and Stimpy, like that I love those. And like Rocco, they're like, "Well, you actually like Ren and Stimpy." So it's like they're more surprised, but I don't know. Off the top of my head, I can't think of one that like people give me flack about liking. Just either they don't know the show or they're surprised that I like it. Um, but I don't know. The only one I can think of maybe recently is Fuller House because some people I know didn't like it, but I'm actually gonna try to go. I got tickets to some of the tapings for the last season, so hopefully I'll be able to actually make it to those. I'm so sad it's ending because I remember first hearing about it when they announced the
Yeah.
reboot, and I went to a taping of it was in the first season, and I went to the taping of the episode where like Steve and DJ first kiss. It was
Oh,
so
okay.
cool, and it was so cool because like between takes like Scott Weinger, he would like randomly say like Aladdin quotes. And it was so he's like, "Come on, carpet, let's go." And we're like, "Ah, yes, do it." So it was so cool, and he was really nice. I got to like talk to him for a little bit. But at those tapings, they don't allow you to take pictures like they do with the
Yeah.
Girl Meets World ones. So yeah, I didn't get pictures with them, but maybe they'll make an exception because it's the last season, hopefully, because I would love to get a picture with them. Um, but yeah, Sorry.
Did they announce it was the last season? Or they just saying okay.
Yeah, it's done. They announced it on their Instagram, so
I seen, was it Bob Saget? He did he no, somebody posted something from the show and they said one last ride.
hmm
So yeah, I thought they were just saying that. So hey, I didn't hear anything else. Well, good.
yeah.
So
Send quick.
say it again.
Sending so quick, like I said, just a few years ago, I remember they announced it, and all of a sudden, it's ending already. I'm like, ah! But because it came out on Netflix, like those seasons came out faster than on TV.
Yeah, I remember when they first came out. That first episode, I didn't
That
have
was so.
Netflix at the time, so I had to borrow a Netflix account for one,
Oh,
and then for two, I had to binge watch the whole season. And yeah, I was satisfied with it, even if they didn't have Michelle, which everybody was
oh
uh
yeah.
complaining about. I still think they honored her and took shots at her at the same time.
Oh yeah. I love that
Uh,
they did that. I thought I like how that's one of the things I love about like Fuller House is like they kind of make fun of themselves and like they're very self-aware
yes,
and
I like.
just like because like one of the funny things that I thought about Fuller House when I was a kid was like, yeah, I like the show, but it's not realistic because like not every problem can be solved in 30 minutes with a hug, and they kind of like made fun of that sometimes on the show. So I like that they're like aware of that, and they can make fun of it, so it doesn't take itself too seriously. So that's good because I feel like sometimes people take themselves too seriously. So I like that they kind of made fun of that, made fun of like the fact that Michelle's not there, and they would kind of look at the camera like, guilty, kind of giving her like this, trying to guilt trip them, like, but they missed out. They missed out. They should have been on it. I feel like Mary Kay and Ashley should have at least been on one episode. I thought it was kind of messed up that they couldn't be on one. Like they wouldn't have that career if it wasn't for that show. Like, and you
Oh
can't give them
yes.
you can't give them one day to show up and make a little cameo. Like, really, I don't know.
Honestly, I think Nick can at least honor the last episode, the last 30 seconds. It got to be 30 seconds. It could be less than that. They could at least walk through the door or something.
That would be amazing.
Just one 30 seconds is probably all they need. They probably be in the studio for a total of 5 minutes. It don't even matter. But
Exactly.
yeah. But I think that's going to end our podcast here. Thanks for being the guest today.
Oh, thank you
I
for having me.
I really enjoyed it. Anything that you want to plug?
Yeah, I mean, just like as you already talked about my channel, 90s Kids Forever. If you want to check out my Instagram, it's at More Than You Think 7, and then I designed some like 90s shirts, so you can check those out on the Instagram for the shirts, which
They
is
are amazing shirts, by the way.
thank you. It's Forever 90s shirts, so you actually spell out forever, and then is it forever and you spell out 90s? I don't remember. Let me check. But yeah, check it out because I'd be cool if like more people saw those shirts, and some people actually try to steal my idea for the oh yeah, it's forever, spell out forever and then 90s shirt. So you spell out 90s is spelled as 90, so forever 90 shirts. But yeah, after like Brent Savage posted the picture with like my shirt, like there were several websites that like copied the shirt and then they tried to sell it as their own, but I like messaged the website to take it down, and I proved that it was my design because I had dates of like when I uploaded it, when I the file of like when I made it, and then like when they uploaded it, they uploaded their design on the website, actually had a date on there, and the date was basically the same day that Ben Savage posted his
Okay.
shirts. So I'm like, how could they have
Yeah.
designed it if it was posted the same day? Like, obviously it wasn't made before. So I was able to get it taken down. So yeah, lots of copycats. And then I also have some all that shirts too. Like, if you check it out, I have a repairman shirt, super dude shirt, one for like ear boy, pizza face, um, the librarian. And then it says like quiet. It's quiet. whatever quote she said, I forget. Quiet.
She said a lot of quotes. She said,
Oh,
"Quiet down."
quiet. This is a library. So
Yes.
that's what one of the shirts says. So
You don't have a shirt that says 5 minutes.
no, because I felt like a lot of people like if you don't like they would just imagine somebody who doesn't watch all that see that shirt. They'd be like, wait, what?
Speaking of 5 minutes, they do have original Kevin coming back.
Oh really?
Yes, they do. Yes.
Oh, awesome. That's cool.
They have a lot of surprises, so yes, it's very, very exciting.
Yes. Hopefully it's good.
Let's hope. Anyways, I'm Prime Time. That's Itzmoe. Any last words before we get out of here?
Keep the 90s alive and watch if you want a show to come back and it comes back, watch it because that's how the networks will know to keep it going if it gets good ratings. So
Okay, all right. I personally have a slogan that works for me, and I say prime time is all the time because I thought that's a nice little jingle for me.
Yeah.
So that's my ending slogan, and for some reason I say it extra. So I'm just gonna go. Prime time is all the time, and then I guess nothing happens, right? I don't know. I still gotta work on it. I still gotta work on the ending tone for my podcast. But all right, everybody. Prime time is all the time. To the end of the